Hey guys, Coach Carla here from EHP. We are excited to have your kids in our summer programs this summer, but there are a couple things that you need to know that may have changed since the last time your kid's been here, or maybe your child hasn't been here at all. So due to some different restrictions, we have a few different guidelines and rules we just like to flag you about. So if you've been here before, you know that we boast a really good ratio of coaches to athletes for kids, teens, and adults. So we really love our coaches to be able to coach and do their things. So just to let you know, you will have a 1 coach to 9 athlete ratio and no more than that. So your child will have all the coaching that they want, need, deserve, and maybe sometimes don't want. We are just asking that you don't send your kids in if they are sick or if anybody in your family's been known to have COVID or have been exposed to it. And I'm going to email you out a list of these guidelines and a little bit more specifics, but just so you kind of know the general precautions that we're taking. We ask that if anybody in your family or your child does test positive for COVID, that they do quarantine themselves for 2 weeks, and that they also notify EHP CrossFit so that we can notify anybody that's been in their class or that coach who's been working with them so that they can go get tested, just to make sure that we're being on top of it. We ask that you review what social distancing is with your child, because we do ask for that. They do have specific designated workout spaces they will be in. I know we're not going to get to play a lot of the CrossFit Kids games where we maybe touch or play tag, so we are coming up with all sorts of new games for your kids to play. And so we just ask that you review social distancing guidelines with them and what does that mean. And we also know that if your child isn't able to listen to the coaches based on those guidelines, instead of being asked to maybe take a brain break or a little time out, they might be asked to leave just because we aren't able to risk that. We are going to have an established set of equipment that is for your child and your child only during that hour. So there will be no sharing, no cross-contamination, no touching of other stuff. So that way, like, everything they have is theirs. And then the coach, we have backpack sprayers and we spray them down and we disinfect everything just to keep you and your family safe. Couple other things, we do recommend that they bring a little bit of their own equipment just so that they don't have to share. Well, they can't share. We ask that they bring their own water bottle, and we ask that they bring either a yoga mat or a towel, because sometimes we're going to be outside for the most part, and then sidewalk chalk. And sidewalk chalk is so they can do their math and record their stuff right on the ground versus having a whiteboard, which is what we normally use on the inside. And so we also want to acknowledge that you are going to minimize putting your child at risk in large crowds, because that basically brings that risk back into EHP. And so we just want to acknowledge that, hey, like, we're not going to bring our child into these large crowds and then expose them to all other people at EHP. Last couple of things here. Most of the kids' classes will be outside, and which is great because it's the summer and let's get them outside. Now, due to youth sports guidelines in the state of Minnesota, if there is adverse weather, we can actually bring the kids inside. Adults, we can't at this point, but kids, we have all the spots on the floor marked out. Everybody's got not only a 6-foot radius, but we've got 12 by 12 boxes that your child is in with all of their equipment, and the garage doors will all be open. So if we have to move inside, we definitely can. For any inclement weather like tornado watches or warnings, those we just typically don't have class because we want to keep people safe. So just so you know, maybe pack a hat, headband, sunscreen, just so your child stays safe when they're outside. Last thing is, we want you guys to understand that the EHP staff is acknowledging that we know a lot of summer events are canceled and your kids are bummed, and you guys have been under a different kind of stress than you've ever been before. It might be good and it might be bad, and everybody's in a different boat. But we're here to offer your kids basically the best couple hours of their week at EHP. And we want this to be a place that they can come, feel safe, feel like rock stars, and take that with them for the rest of their lives. So just a heads up about our kids programs this summer.